Hello, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about what the is manifesting. So I know you all have heard of manifesting before. It's basically bringing in what you want, wishing, and hoping and praying for it, and it just miraculously appear. Miraculous. I can't pronounce words. Miraculously. I don't like that. So today we're going to talk about what the is manifesting. I know you all have heard of the word before. So today we're going to talk. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about what the is manifesting. I know you've heard it before. I've heard it before. We hear it everywhere nowadays. So what is manifesting? I'm going to tell you what it meant for me and the five things that worked for me in this video, and then in the next video we're going to talk about the 5 things that did not work for me. So hopping right into the video, number one thing that, oh wait, let me back up. My bad. Let me explain a little bit to you what I feel manifesting is and the difference between prayer and manifestation. I feel as though prayer is actually reaching out and petitioning to God, saying, hey God, this problem is too big for me. There's no way I would be able to sort this out. I'm handing it over to you. I'm putting it in your hands, and I'm praying that you deliver me from this situation. Manifesting, on the other hand, to me is you simply going to God and saying, hey, I have an idea. It's something I really want. It's not necessarily within my reach right now, but if I was to do X, Y, and Z, I feel like I could accomplish that, and with your assistance, it can move a little faster. So manifesting is setting an intention, saying, hey, I want this dream home, I want this dream car, dream body, whatever it is, and actually going to God and saying, all right, not only am I going to pray to you and believe in you, but I'm also going to put in routine work day to day until I reach my goal. So that's the difference between prayer and manifesting for me. So personally, with prayer, I go to God when it's something as far as sickness, something that's just out of my control. And insurance claims it's a thing called an act of God or an act of nature. And it's just no one had any say over it. That's prayer for me. So yes, I do pray. But I also feel like manifestation is more so for those of us who know we can do better and want to do better. So what's manifestation? Yes, have I ever manifested before? And yes, I have. And what are 5 things that help me? So jumping right into the video, the first thing that helped me when it came to manifesting was water. Yes, very cliche, water. Drinking water, staying hydrated helped me tremendously. I collect water as well. I don't know why, I'm just about to get weird real quick. This is really hard. I did not expect this to be this hard. So I'm gonna like just jibber jabber and then I'll redo this video. So drinking water, I have notes. I'm actually gonna show you guys. I have notes, but they're, now that I'm in it, they're very poorly written out. So I knew I wanted to talk about drinking water, but forgot the main talking points. So yeah, basically out of all the list of things that you're gonna Google or ever seen about all these things to manifest and what you can manifest, from big to small, from trying to get a house, better income, a good body, a man, out of all the steps and tips and tricks and things that I've read and seen about manifestation, these are the things that work for me. Number one was drinking water. And up in my water intake, of course, you see the health benefits, you see the immediate body benefits, but also it kept my mind very clear, very sharp, as well as I noticed that I almost want to say I felt as though I could see into the future better. I felt like I had very much clear vision, as well as I don't know if it's because I'm a water sign that water worked so well for me, but I think for any other elements, water, fire, air, earth, I think collecting and obtaining as much. So another thing that I want to touch on is that when you're trying to manifest or when you're trying to make yourself whole, you should collect your pee. You should not pee inside the toilet. You should pee inside of a cup and keep it on the side of the toilet, or whatever is convenient, whatever the most sanitary that you can do. But yeah, you want to preserve as much of your energy and talk to it before you dismiss it, to conserve energy, as well as your hair. When you're combing your hair, the hair that comes out in a comb, get a container, put it inside of it and save it. And it helps from you feeling so scattered all the time. Number two, the second thing that helped me was staying clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness, and what I mean by that is deep cleaning. So I actually, my house is clean. It stays clean. I have no children, so but what I noticed is that when I actually went room to room and just started like picking at things to clean, aka I will clean my blinds. I live in an apartment complex, okay? I washed my blinds like singly, like each single blind, as well as I put CLR and lime stuff in my toilet. Toilet wasn't really bad, but did look good once I was finished. These things, deep cleaning my spaces, I seen a tremendous effect, because again, demons, entities, bad spirits, they cling on to dirt. They hang in dirty areas. Number three that helped me is writing it down. Writing it down. Old faithful. I know a lot of people say that, but it helped me with tracking my progress. So when any little synchronicity that I see, I will write it down. I am so sad this is turning out like this, but it's okay. Number 4 on the list was music. Listening to specific, very tailored music to whatever it was that I was trying to manifest. So as an example, I was just 2 months ago, I wanted $10,000, because that's how I wanted to end my year, with $10,000 in my savings account. So I started my manifestation rituals for that. And two of the songs that I use continuously, and again, I know this is gonna sound crazy, and most people are gonna will tell you like, oh, make sure it's something you are highly in love with, make sure you love it. I ain't do that. What I did is I took songs that specifically had the lyrics in there that was like key point lyrics for what I was trying to do. So one of the songs was Landrell Money Manifesting song, and then the other one was Rocco, this morning I woke up feeling like money. I jumped up, stuff like that. So yeah, use music as specific, very, very specific affirmations. And again, it tracks progress, which increases your confidence. So if you write your goal down and something happens, a synchronicity happens within a day or two, your friend call you and say some crazy shit about, oh, my job hiring, and you just said I want a new job. Like, those are synchronicities. So you want to write those down and track them so you can see how fast you're making progress, or when things are gaining wind. And to add to the music one is I want to show you my house manifestation list. So, yeah, that's the next one I'm working on, house manifestation. So I actually have a song for the house manifestation, and right now it is Keeps Happening to Me by Kiera Sheard. Good song, especially for house. It says like everything I'm thinking. Number five. Number five is being repetitive. Sounds crazy, right? Very cliche. But you gotta do this shit every day. You gotta beat it into your brain. You gotta program your brain. I'm gonna end right here. And the next video I'm gonna do is the 5 things that did not work for me. And I actually made good timing. I wanted this video to be 10 minutes long, and it's actually, I'm at 10 minutes and 41 seconds. And so technically, if I wouldn't have been acting crazy and pausing and weirdo-ish, I would have did it. Okay, so it's possible. We know it's possible. Let's go. Make pretend video number 2. I don't know why that little bit of hair is bothering me. Oh, is this how I be on cameras, ladies? Why y'all didn't tell me? Why the girlies didn't tell me this? Why y'all be getting surgery and such? We need to do a video on that. Let's do a video on that. Why these girls gotta get that surgery, girl? I'm natural and I'm an image. Like, say what? Never knew that was there. Okay. Hey y'all. Hey, so what the is manifesting? I explained to you in my last video, if you watched the last video about the five things that work for me when it came to manifesting, then you know that I feel there's a difference between prayer and manifestation. Why not? Is that my chin? Oh, let's not go that way because your chin fucked up, remember? All right, so I'm gonna just run these down really quick. I told you in the previous video that prayer is flat out just begging and asking God, hey, do this. Manifesting is, all right, look, I got a plan. This is what I want to do. Could you help me execute it a little faster? So I told you the 5 things that worked for me. And now I want to tell you the 5 things that not so much worked for me. These things did not work for me because I was not consistent, not because they don't work. So not a real professional. I'm not a real doctor. I just play one on TV. Thanks. So, manifesting 101. What didn't work? Number 1, waking up at 5 a.m. If you go on any of these It Girl sites, they'll tell you to be that bitch. You need to be up at 6. That ain't it. Definitely not for me. Be realistic. If you're not a morning person, you're not a morning person. Like, just be for real. What is the point of you being up at 5 o'clock in the morning, cranky, trying to talk to God about this house you want? Like, pick a better time. If you're not a morning person, then you're just not a morning person. If you don't get up to go to work at that time, 9 times out of 10, you don't care about that time of day. Because otherwise, you would have been got your ass up and went to work and got that over with. You feel me? You feel me? So, yeah, the whole 5 o'clock a.m. to be an entrepreneur, to be successful, to have anything in life, I feel like that's the standard. I see why they say it could work and you get more time in a day, but for me, it just didn't do it. It did not fit. It was not convenient for my life. It made no sense. Even once I did kind of get in a routine of it, if you will, and I was like waking up around like 6, 6:30, I was just up earlier in the day. It was nothing outside that I was going to do. There was no businesses open, you know. Yeah, I did start journaling a little earlier and stuff, but again, I already had my times set for that. I was already managing that, so it didn't really work for me. But again, like I said, that's just something that wasn't needed for me. I'm fine with waking up at 7:30, 8 o'clock. I still got just as much done, and the things that I wanted to manifest still came. So yeah, a sleep schedule, that whole have to be to bed by 10, have to be up by 5, whatever works to keep your body and brain functioning, do that. Number two would be meditating. Don't listen, don't come after me, all right? I'm just telling you what didn't really do it for me. Meditating. I think meditating, when people talk about meditating, I don't think they're truthful. I think that you could sit in a moment of pause. You could have a moment of quiet. You could not be on your phone for for some time, and yeah, bring you some peace. But I think that actual meditation is a sincere 20-30 minutes of like your brain being clear. And like, if you've ever tried to meditate, you know that it takes a long time for your mind to kind of even quiet down. So um I feel like people be lying when they like, oh, I woke up at 5 a.m. and I meditated for an hour, and then like, no, you didn't. Like, even if you did, like, and then what? Like, tell the rest of the story. Like, so yeah, try to meditate 20-30 minutes a day. I'm not saying that it's not reasonable. I'm not saying that it's not doable. What I'm saying is that anytime that I have sat down to meditate, yeah, I feel a little better, but for the most part, my mind still be going. And I kind of just start thinking of even weirder stuff. Like, yeah, I should probably really get my notebook and write that down. It seems like some good stuff is coming out now. And as well as most meditating is trying to be serene and relaxed, and most manifesting is really about being a go-getter, going to get that house, get that body, get that car. So to me, they just didn't align. I do meditate, but 5 to 10 minutes tops, and it's usually enough to quiet my brain down, get the gunk out, and help me go move on to my next task. Also, another thing that I think people misplace or misuse the word meditation is they think because they don't watch TV that they've meditated. They think because they sit inside, because they didn't have the TV on or they don't have the radio on in the background or what have you, that they meditated. No, boo. You were just silent for a longer period of time than you normally are. That's all. Number 3, being out in nature. I feel like I can speak on this because if you know me in my real life, I love nature. I'm an outside type of girl. I'm a park girl. If you ever been in my truck, you know I got a whole kit and caboodle. We could pull up, pop the trunk, and let it bump. I'm all about good old Bella, I find me a picnic table, sit there. I have my little chicken wings and my little snack, and yeah, you know what else? And yeah, I'll be out there vibing. But when it came to like trying to manifest and force myself to be out in nature and be one with the birds, very forced. So again, if you are not a nature person, that is not mandatory to get the things you need or want in life. Uh, and again, it's just like the waking up at 5 a.m. Be reasonable with yourself. If it's cold as hell outside, it's going to be cold. Your mind is not going to be as at ease out in 3-degree weather as it would be in 65-degree weather. You just really want to be conscious of that. And it's not to say that, again, that you can't do it. It's not to say that it's not a great challenge to push yourself to be out in the harsher elements. All of that's great mental training, great brain training, all of that. But let's just be for real. If you're uncomfortable, unhappy, wet, raining, out in the cold at 5 o'clock in the morning, 9 times out of 10, your emotions won't be in the right place to actually manifest something good. So if you live in a state that's always hot or always cold or just bugs, like I went out to a park, a very beautiful park, in Traverse City. It was called Elizabeth Park. Gorgeous park. Bella on steroids, and I was with my tarot cards, and I had this whole thing of this beautiful scene I was gonna set for myself and visualize in my mind. And when I got out there, it was just the bugs. I was like, the bugs, they're everywhere. I kept like, I gotta cover my juice. It was like a lot. I could not meditate concentrate on manifestation. But no, seriously, that's just one to consider. A lot of times when you go on these sites, or when you are just kind of piggybacking information, if we all just be real, we all click on those, 10 tips, 5 tips, give it to me real quick. They tell you things like this: oh, go sit, be one with nature, get a pet, that. Think about it, really consider it before you do it. Don't think that that's going to be a magic pill, and oh, because you walked a dog or two, now you're a saint and you're just going to start getting checks here and there from everywhere. No, if you don't like dogs and you hate the smell of them, if you have a dog in your house and every day you're like, oh, this dog stinks, it's really not going to be sending out the right message to the universe. They might just send you more of something you don't like. So be careful with that one. I would say that nature, be real with yourself. If you are not a nature girl, you might want to substitute that for something else. Number 4. Oh, this is a big one. Wow. All right. I have written down on my list the Bible. I have the Bible and tarot readings. So what I want to say to that is, and I actually have prayer, but we kind of talked about prayer. We touched on that a little bit. So what I mean by they did not work for me, and again, remember I said because I was not as consistent with these things, or I did not see them all the way through, because at some point I felt that they were in the way more so than they were helping. The Bible, prayer / tarot, crystals, spirituality. These things did not work for me because, number one, the Bible for me, I think people think it's I think people look at it as cosmetic surgery. They look at it as plastic surgery. They look like, oh, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to go get this book. And if I open this book and I say, tell it everything I want and do, it has to be done. And if you ever really read the Bible, that thing more complicated and coded than Da Vinci. I don't know. It actually leads you to more questions, more concerns, and it's a lot more research to be done once you actually get into the Bible. So it can actually getting into the Bible make you forget all about manifesting. You be like, oh my God, my soul. Forget the money. What am I gonna do with my soul? So I don't think the Bible, most people will tell you to pray and read the Bible. I'm not saying do not do those things. They are very helpful, very, very helpful. But what I'm saying is don't depend on that alone. Reading the Bible is great to know the word, to understand where Christians are coming from, because they are the majority of the people out in the world. So you want to know how to interact when you're out here. But as you can see, it's not the end all be all, because Jesus ain't came back yet, and I'm pretty sure some of our grannies has passed. Oh, that's harsh to share. We're gonna delete that. Don't we editing that out? Yeah, but people who really, really believed didn't receive what they were looking for and still perished. So remember that's not the complete answer. And I'm gonna add tarot in there too, even as a tarot reader myself. That's for another video. I have so much I could say about the levels of tarot, but even as a tarot reader or a tarot listener, tarot viewer, do not get caught up in the idea that, oh, this reading is going to fix my life, or that, oh, this love spell is going to fix my life. I'll put this in a jar and it's going to pop. No. Yeah, it will help assist you in a lot of things, but again, it's for another video. But those things, once you initiate a spell, you have to then participate in the rituals behind that to see it through. So for example, if you choose that you want to be in love and you want to find a husband, mate, wife, whatever, and you decide that you are going to do a love spell, what happens is, okay, you get the person hair and fingernail clippings, draws, whatever your weird ass is up to these days. You get that item, you say whatever you say, make your wishes known, put it in a jar, right? Well, from there you have to do rituals now. You have to keep going back in, checking on a jar, checking in with the person you're trying to get, checking in with yourself to make sure you align with what you want. Like, you have to monitor that, which goes back to my other video, was saying that writing actually was one of the things that helped me manifest, because I was able to track what was happening. I was able to see, like, okay, this not working. Okay, this is working. So yeah, whenever doing tarot, spells, spirits, anything dealing with that type of stuff, know that you have to pay attention. Even while your real life is still going on, you have to pay attention to see if what you put out there is actually returning to you or actually working on the person that you put it on. So yes, when trying to manifest something, do not count on the Bible or tarot readings or any type of spiritual outlet to get it done solely with just those things. That's not it. You're gonna need some backup. Those things are just help, they're reinforcement. Number five, number five, number five, number five. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, hit me with a like, with a thumbs up, and a subscribe if you don't mind. And to end it, and this is gonna sound so funny, you guys, number five is listening to gurus. Number five on my list that did not work for me when it came to manifesting was listening to other people. After all the research, buying the books, watching the videos, loving the gurus, following anybody foot by foot, step by step, just did not work for me. It was things that was said to me that I was like, I don't even want that. It was one girl, I was in love with her. Like, oh, she was doing all these feminine readings and how to be a dainty lady and how to get a husband. And one day she was talking and she was doing this whole like, I hope to bring into your life, I'm wishing that for you, the man that comes for you, you know, he rub your back and your feet all day, every day. And I was like, I have a thing. I don't like my feet being touched. Just don't touch them. Even when I get my feet done at the my toes done at the Chinese place, I give me somebody who's sloppy today. Give me somebody who ready to go home, about to go to lunch. Cause just and paint them things. I don't like nobody intimate with my feet. That's just me. So it was funny because the lady who I was listening to every day and like manifesting with, if you will, one of her things was she wanted somebody to be rubbing on her feet every night to go to bed. And I was like, oh, that's appalling to me. So yeah, be careful listening to other gurus and what they did and how they got their man and this and that, because their man might look good, but he might snore. You might can't get no sleep at night. I'll just play it, but no, don't listen to other people. Whatever you want, go for it. And basically be very specific, because the thing that most people get on here and talk about wanting and needing is a dream home, a brand new luxury car, $10,000, $25,000, $100,000. And yes, that sounds amazing, but if that's not really where your heart is at, it's kind of hard to manifest that. So if you know that you're just trying to land this job interview next week, start at Little Caesars part-time, doing a couple of hours a week, get a little check, and lay on back and watch your Netflix, manifest that. Listen to that, because those are the things that are going to come to you. The things that your heart are in and where your intent is at is where you will be led to. So don't let nobody convince you that because it worked for them or did not work for them, that it will work for you or it will not work for you. The best thing to do is to stay true to you. Listen to the information and do your research. I understand that social media is a phenomenon now because we don't have time to read books. for 600 pages worth of books. I actually have a book in front of me right now. Look at this book I'm getting through today. So we don't have time for stuff like this like we used to back in the day. So don't feel bad about going on YouTube or whatever other media outlet you're using to get snippets of information. But just make sure that you are evaluating that information, analyzing it, and putting it in the proper place in your life. So that's what the manifesting is. See you next time.